All right, it should be back up. Yes, definitely can here on I-2059 near Utah, Alabama, headed toward the direction of Tuscaloosa. And a little bit of heavy rainfall right now as we travel toward the north and east. Well, we saw several rounds of storms develop yesterday. Really got started pretty early, just after the noontime hour. We saw some pretty powerful storms develop across portions of East Texas, Louisiana, and up into Arkansas. We were actually on a couple of tornado-warned storms that ended up crossing Interstate 49 there, had some pretty strong rotation near Natchitoches, Louisiana, and followed that storm on up till it produced a tornado near Jonesboro and did some damage, at least some damage to structures, lots of trees, power lines. And then we've been seeing more storms develop. East Texas, Oklahoma later last night, and now we're starting to see all of that sweep across Mississippi, and now that's essentially what we're going after, the remnants of that over in Alabama. We're also seeing newer storms develop across portions of central Alabama at this hour that are now going tornadic from those old storms. And again, we're trying to get in position to see some of those this afternoon, as we do have pretty substantial tornado threat in place today. It looks like that's where the main threat is going to reside. We're likely to stay from Birmingham and to the south. Can't rule out being a little further north over portions of eastern Alabama a little bit later, but I see we've got a new tornado warning now that's popped up for central Chilton County west of Clinton. But it looks like for the near term, at least for the next several hours, we'll be across the state of Alabama. Well, so far so good here. It was a little bit different in Louisiana last night, where we had some areas of flooding and had a couple of Alabama hasn't dealt with as much heavy rain thus far, and it looks to be a little bit more progressive here, so we're not seeing much in the way of flooding this far to the east, which is very good news because we don't need a dual threat here. central storm that I was talking about, west of Clanton, and a tornado warned down. We'll end up having to get gas up here too. Storms over in central about to get stupid. Yeah, I don't really see a lot from that north warning, but that one southwest of Thorsby starting to get a nasty looking look, and then the one west of Autaugaville too, and north of Autaugaville, both of those look nasty. That's why I'm trying. I'm at Utah. I'm almost in Tuscaloosa. Probably going to cut down either 82. Do what? Well, I mean, it's not really. It's just now getting going. I'll get over there to it. We're coming up the highway pretty damn quick.
Car in the ditch. Car in the ditch.
Do you not see all the new storms? Oh, he's facing the wrong way. Do you not see all the new storms firing in South Alabama? There's quite a bit of it. Anyway, that's what we're trying to do. I'm trying to get over there. Do what? Who did? Oh, I see it. I see the bolt. Yeah. Southwest. That one there to the north of Autaugaville that's going to head her way to me is the most interesting one right now, right over 82. Okay. All right. Bye. be Brett's. This is Brett's. Jason. Drive, can it? Either that or some tires won't blow. Something like that. Yep. watching the tornadoes off just to the south, so probably better keep your head on swivel. Yeah, I imagine so. There's tornado warnings coming in. Don't call me and start that. You know where I'm at, how I am. Anyway, I'm good. I'm rolling, rocking and rolling. Bye. Golly, Mom. Stop.
Like where the action is.
Which is right here. So Prattville is here, Booth, Doremus Sausage, Billingsley, Jim's Pit Barbecue. Possible tornadic circulation between Booth and Billingsley, moving up toward Interstate 65. That looks a lot better. That's the best looking one on radar at this moment. Will it stay there long? Probably not. But again, the advice now is no driving along Interstate 65. Really, I would say no driving along Interstate 65 and north of Prattville all the way up to the Shelby County line. Just hang tight. Let's see how this plays out. Let's go back to our northern warning. This is the one for Chilton. And again, it just doesn't look like we have a tornado here at this point. Gusty winds, yes. Heavy rain, yes. Small hail, yes. Severe, probably not. Let's go to our Clanton sky cam if we can. And again, Taylor, you might this time want to turn it to the north. That's looking west. And let's go the other way. There we go. And keep going about right there. Tilt up a little bit. We'll just kind of, that's looking to the northwest. And again, I wish I could tell you, you're going to see something here, and you're probably not, but you never know. And we know that people react better when they see a visual of a tornado, of a funnel cloud, of some type of weather. You tend to respond better. Well, that's understandable. I need to see it before I do something. But in this state, we just can't do that a lot. But again, that's looking northwest from our downtown Clanton sky cam in Chilton County, and that spot is in the polygon from downtown Clanton north. So let's go back to the radar. And again, I'm looking for reports of damage, and I haven't seen any. Taylor, have you in Chilton so far?
No, not yet. I haven't seen anything. I've been watching our Slack channel, Twitter, Facebook, all of those, and I'm not seeing anything that would indicate that we've had any recent damage from this polygon. But it does appear that it's still being trimmed away from the National Weather Service, so we'll keep a close eye on it. What could be going on is kind of that southern circulation is taking over and kind of just becoming the dominant circulation at this point.
And just got a note from Spruce McCree. Spruce heads up the Briarfield Fire Department, and he's out of town watching this. And for a lot of folks, they're still, getting back after the holiday period here. A lot of folks have great interest, and we have people watching from all over. And again, we thank you for watching. And again, we're going to stay here as long as we have tornado warnings. So if you're watching us, we have 2 tornado warnings in the state, one for Chilton. And again, this is gusty winds, yes. but tornado signature, not really. Still, stay sheltered. Again, we can give an all clear to Isabella and Maplesville. This broad circulation is past you. It's crossing Highway 31. It'll be crossing Interstate 65 soon. Stay sheltered here, even though we don't have a strong indication of a tornado. That is a much better signature down here. This is the circulation that is now east of US 82. We can give an all clear for US 82 between Billingsley and Prattville. If you need to travel US 82 between Montgomery and Tuscaloosa, right now you're good. This circulation crossed over US 82 south of Billingsley, north of Booth, and that's coming right over toward the Pine Level exit. The Pine Level exit is right there at my fingertip where the arrow ends. And if that thing holds together, it's going to be crossing I-65. So again, the object of this game here, and this is not a game, this is decisions on a day like today are really important. And in some cases, that can determine if you're hurt or not hurt, or if you stay alive. I don't mean to sound, like I'm using hyperbole here, but that's the way it is with a tornado. You do not want to be in a car. It is the worst possible place to be. Again, I would not be driving on Interstate 65 north of Prattville or south of Jemison for about 15, 20 minutes. Let's get these circulations east of I-65, and then we'll give you an all clear.
Property damage, trailer destroyed, front porch ripped off a house. Southeast of Old Spring Hill and Marengo, so we need to keep an eye on that too.
This one that's now east of US 82, and again, we'll give an all clear to US 82. And again, that'll be crossing I-60 near the Pine Level exit. And again, this extends up to the Chilton County line. This is US 31. Marbury's here. Verbena is right here. And again, US 31, I-65, they parallel each other. Marbury High School is right here. And that'll keep on going, ultimately, maybe into parts of Coosa or Elmore counties if that thing holds together. But it's interesting to note every time we have a new, really good-looking signature, it's farther south. And this is most likely blocking the one to the north. So let's go back to our northern polygon. And again, it just looks very unimpressive last time we saw that. Again, we've still got broad rotation. This looks like MXX.
This is. So I switched over to look at that southern, and you can kind of see the upper levels. It's got the broad circulation, but when we go to BMX,
and you go to the low levels, and it looks like that. That's coming from the Shelby County Airport radar, which is right here, and that's a really good slice of the low levels, so that the circulation is mainly aloft here. But still, respect the polygon if you're in northern Chilton County. And again, Shelby is up here. We stress there are no warnings for any part of Shelby County, and don't get mad at us if you've got thunder and lightning and there's no warning. People may crank you today. Maybe they have to go back to work or something. But I got a severe storm here and you're not helping me. Well, we understand it's pouring rain and there's thunder and lightning and gusty winds. But remember to be your 1-inch diameter hail or larger or 58 mile per hour winds or greater. You got to have a criteria here, and that's it. And what's happening up in the Birmingham Metro does not match that criteria. It's sub-severe. It's not nice. It's not good to be out in it, but it is what it is. But again, we just got very, very broad circulation coming down through Chilton County. And again, the polygon stays in effect. And the reason the Weather Service is doing this, we've had multiple situations today where we've had a really good signature. It goes away, but it comes right back. And they're doing that just in case this one comes right back. So again, Taylor, I'm looking to see, really all I'm seeing now, it's more flooding than anything else. I'm seeing a lot of flooding reports.
the Clanton camera, you can at least see that leading edge on it now. the dark clouds. And
Let's go to Wexo 5 real quick and just show you some of the flooding video that's coming in. This is what so many places are having this. These are very, very efficient rain producers today, and it's just a mess. It's a kind of a quagmire out there, and hopefully you're in a dry place. You don't have to get out there in that. So let's go back to the radar. And again, if you're just joining us, we are here at 119. James Spann with Taylor Sorello. We're working a series of tornado warnings today. We've been here since about 11:30 this morning, and it's now 1:20, and we have the risk of severe storms for the rest of this afternoon, tonight, and after midnight tonight. And really, this is kind of the first wave, if you will. We might have a lull this evening or tonight, and then another batch will likely come in after midnight. Hopefully, with the second batch, we won't have a tornado problem. By then, the winds are more unidirectional. The atmosphere is highly sheared now. But again, in our television market, we had Chilton County, northern Chilton County, and a tornado warning polygon for a storm that is producing very, very broad rotation. The better circulation is down to the south. Let's go down to Autauga County. And again, a lot of people are watching us there. We'll bounce back and forth between the two. That is a much better signature here. And again, that's circulation from Maxwell Air Force Base. And that'll be approaching I-65 pretty soon. All right, so just be aware of that. And again, the Pine Level exit is right in here. This is where I-65 and US 31 kind of parallel each other. Marbury High School right over here. But if you're in Marbury or any part of northern Autauga County from Pine Level north, this is all north of Prattville. Prattville is not in the polygon. You don't need to do anything if you're in Prattville. This is all north of there. But if you know anybody in this particular polygon, I would advise calling them or texting them to let them know if they live in this broad area here between US 82 and I-65. And again, this will be coming up in the general direction of Marbury High School. So just be aware of that and to be sheltered and stay sheltered. And this is the dominant circulation right now. The northern circulation is just basically fizzled over Chilton, and the Autauga circulation is much more dominant right now. And to get your bearings here, this is Interstate 65 right here, US 30. And again, there's a little stretch right here where you can almost touch US 31 from I-65. This is Elmore County, this is Coosa County, and of course, if this thing holds together, it will probably wind up in parts of southern Coosa County up here. So if you're in Rockford or Point South, just watch this. There's no warning right now. And if you're just joining us, understand we do not expect long-track tornadoes today. We are expecting the short-lived tornadoes that might last for 1, 2, 3, 5 minutes, and they're gone. And that's basically what we have had today. We have had some damage today. I want to show Wexo 5 real quick. I want to show some of the damage earlier today down in Perry County. This is the same thunderstorm complex that's coming through Chilton and Autauga now, and this is some of the damage. You can see the roof damage and trees down at this particular home here. You can see some tin wrapped around the tree. This happened earlier today during the noon hour near Marion in Perry County. It sure looks like a smaller tornado came through there, and that's what these things are capable of doing, knocking down a lot of trees, producing some damage like that. And like I say, every tornado is dangerous. Let's take Evan Chickvera's live feed if we can. Evan is driving along US 31. If you can hear me, kind of give us an update of where you are and what you see. It looks like a cloud base today.
All right, James, hope you guys can hear me over the sound of this rain. I'm about 6 miles south of Thorsby, and with that cell that moved over, that broad rotation, I had about 45 seconds to a minute of 5-mile-an-hour wind. We're continuing to push to the south here, and you can see, I don't know if the captured that on the camera, that was also a cloud to ground strike straight ahead. You can see the base of these clouds here. It looks pretty nasty, but honestly, the worst that I've driven through is the torrential rain. I mean, it's coming down to the point where, we've all been on a football field or been in a stadium, and you should be able to see across it, right? At times, you can see maybe 50 yards at best, and that's why, if there is a storm out there, it's probably best not to be out driving like this. But I've been, following these cells as they develop further and further south. As you and Taylor talked about, initially it was up in the Jemison area, and it slowly worked their way to the south as these things redevelop and essentially cut off the to the north cells.
All right, again, Evans in a place where cell coverage is a little iffy at this point. But again, if you're just joining us here, we are working 2 tornado warning polygons. We've got one for Chilton for very broad rotation here, which is now a little east of I-65, approaching Alabama Highway 145, which is located right here. And again, we've got the other circulation, which is becoming broader with time. And again, that's the way these things are working. They look really good for a few volume scans, and then they start to get broad. The broad circulation coming up toward I-65 in northern Autauga County near Marbury here. So again, this is the Chilton County warning, and this is the Autauga County warning. And the other box, that's our Clanton Skycam. And again, looks like a shelf cloud, Taylor.
Yeah, it looks like we got a pretty good shelf cloud, which of course we talk about, and it doesn't necessarily once again mean that this right now in this moment you saw really well. Look at the lightning strike there in the distance, the cloud of the ground there. But just because we have the shelf cloud, this is different, remember, than a wall cloud. A wall cloud is what we have when we are looking at the possibility of a tornado. This right here looks to be a shelf cloud, which just means there's heavy rain on the way. This is some of that warm, humid air being sucked up into the storm. And I mean some heavy rain is on the way for Clinton. Of course, you are under that tornado warning in this location. This, what we're looking at right now, would be a shelf cloud indicating some heavy rain. For the moment, I haven't seen much of a change in the radar for this system here. I've changed it back to the Birmingham radar site here, and likely you're going to get some strong winds. We've also got quite a bit of lightning and thunder, and we just saw that lightning strike from our camera view there, that cloud-to-ground lightning. But for now, it's hard to pick out one area within this polygon where we have any kind of really suspicious-looking rotation at this point. But certainly dealing with some very strong winds, and we want you to stay in that safe place if you are within this polygon. This warning, I think, is supposed to last until 2 p.m. So we've got a little while to go on this. We will wait and see whether or not this is extended in time or not. But for the time being, it's going to continue for parts of Chilton County, including I-65. It's being trimmed down a little bit. You can see it there. So now this is a very small polygon that includes just north of Clanton up towards Union Grove, right along I-65. I-65 still included within this tornado warning polygon. And if this is extended, it could be eventually extended into Coosa County. We'll see how this goes. Right now, still not showing any kind of really, really impressive signs of any kind of rotation with that. Certainly right now, the more impressive circulation appears to be that circulation to the south that is impacting Autauga County now. But for now, we've got lots of heavy rain out there, and we're seeing reports
That checkers over is empty too.
not even just within these polygons.
You got checkers,
Some
don't
of
you?
this heavy rain that we're seeing with
Checkers.
this first round.
Right over here. Yeah.
Ground's becoming saturated, so
was trying to find
as
a
we move
burgers,
into the later
fancy
part of
comeback.
the evening,
Burgers and-
we
oh,
could continue to get more and more problems with that flooding, just because we are expecting
Checkers are
more
later.
rounds of rain as we move into the evening. But for now,
The Wix 05 for just a minute, Taylor.
Okay.
I want to show some
Caution.
video. This is coming from
Red light
Galveston,
camera ahead.
and this is east of Demopolis. And again, this is again evidence that there's been what could have been a small tornado come through there, or maybe just some straight line winds here. But again, you can see that's either from straight line winds, a rear flank downdraft, a small tornado. And there's some pretty good-looking trees snapped off there, so this could very well be a small tornado. The radar looked really good at that point. This was earlier today. And again, this is in Galveston. You can see some tin that apparently came off a roof, and that was earlier today. So again, that's an example of what these things can do. A lot of folks are
they got
expecting
two
a
of them?
polygon today. Thanks a lot. Always great to see that. I can tell those folks are in Chilton County there. And we've got some hail falling, Taylor. This is some hail in the Birmingham Metro. In fact, we're getting reports now that Hoover Police, they are shutting down US 31 at the Galleria and diverting traffic through the Galleria because of flooding. So we might check that Galleria camera to see what that looks like, if we can see the flooding problems there. But again, we've got some flooding issues in the Birmingham Metro. And again, this is more video
I'm gonna
of
get a
the
number
torrential
one.
rain that has been
Hey,
falling.
go ahead and order all of them.
And we've got the multiple problems of heavy rain,
Can you get
flooding,
number 3,
the
please,
possibility of
with a Coke?
Get a number 1 with no tomato, onion, or mayo.
Add ketchup, mustard, large size with a Coke, please.
Number 1 with no ketchup, mayo, and tomato.
No tomato, onion, or mayo. Add ketchup and mustard, please.
What's the drink?
Large size with a Coke.
That'll be all for you.
Yes, ma'am.
2240.
Okay.
Ramps back up again, but the circulation is now well to the east of I-65, east of Alabama 145. That's the road from Clearwater back up to Wilsonville.
Yeah.
And next up, it'll be crossing the Coosa, which is the border between Chilton and Coosa counties here. But that's very broad, and I just can't see them extending that based on this signature and the fact we've not had any reports in that area down there. Taylor, what you got on the Skycam there in Hoover?
It looks like it's kind of hard to see, but I do see where we have some standing water on the road here. We have the lights from what appears to be some of the police cars are directing traffic, and I did just see someone drive through that, which is not recommended because that's pretty deep water there. That's going to be at the bottom left of your screen on the southern side of where those cops are, where those police officers are. But we just saw someone driving through that, very deep water, and that's kind of something we've been reminding you about throughout our time on air today is please don't do that. Don't drive through the water. I know it's inconvenient when you have to go find another route, and it can take you a little bit extra time, and I know we're on
Like a Burger King or something.
Oh, wow.
what are we doing? What are we doing there?
Oh, boy.
That's not good.
No. Come on. All right. Turn around, don't drown. That's the end result could not be good there. And again, that's US 31 in Hoover. And Hoover police have tried to block off that area.
Don't hate.
But, the water just keeps on coming. Well, let's go back to the weather. Again, we've got the flooding issue here in the Birmingham Metro. We have the tornado issue down to the south. And again, we have very broad circulation that's now east of Highway 145 approaching the Coosa River. That'll be coming over into northern Coosa County. This is Sylacauga here. This is Highway 231. Rockford is right here. Again, that's very, very broad. That is not really a tornado signature. But let's go down to Autauga County and look at Marbury. This is a much more interesting signature here. This is really the dominant storm. It doesn't look as good as it did 5-10 minutes ago. That's the way it's been today. This is broad, but still, there's broad circulation right into here, approaching Highway 31 and Interstate 65, near or just north of Pine Level, between Pine Level and Marbury, right into here. And again, that will be moving on into parts of northwestern Elmore County. The Weather Service in Birmingham will have a decision to make on that. You extend that over into the northwestern part of Elmore. But again, just our advice is still no driving on Interstate 65 in Autauga County between Prattville and the Chilton County line until that circulation passes. Let's work our way up. And again, want to show for those folks that are in downtown Clanton here, the risk of any tornado activity is over for you. So if you're in Clanton, Jemison, Thorsby, anybody along US 31, Interstate 65, all clear. This broad circulation is about to cross into Coosa County. So again, Clanton, Thorsby, Jemison, Union Grove, all clear. The concern is now east of Highway 145, east of Gap of the Mountain here. And again, that's going to be moving over into Coosa, and it's really broad. And whether the Weather Service extends this, it's kind of hard to say. And what we've been doing here basically all morning is playing whack-a-mole here. It has been a very challenging situation with these short-lived tornadoes. And I'm afraid that's what we're going to have for the rest of today and tonight into the pre-dawn hours tomorrow. So again, watching more images coming in. I'll show here in just a second. I got some ground shots coming in from the Galleria. In fact, let's go to WEX 05 if we can. And again, this is that's the Panda Express on the right. That's the Walgreens on the left on US 31. It's just south of the River Chase Galleria. You can see the PetSmart across the way right there. But let's go back to, we got the Skycam on this flooding, Taylor, still?
Yes.
Yeah. So again, this is basically in the same area.
What did you
that's
have?
the Steak and Shake
number 3?
there you can see. And again, just off to the left would be the Panda Express. And again, if they've got the roads closed, we advise you certainly don't drive on them. And I would not want to be driving through that. And that's just me. moving water is so powerful, and we've seen it over and over and over. We had a fatality here in Military not that long ago from a car swept away in water shallower than that. So if you come across those floodwaters, I would certainly not encourage anybody to drive in that. So let's go to the radar here. It's 1:34. And Taylor, this morning for Chilton, it goes out at what time? 2 o'clock. So, again, it's going to be this broad circulation. And it's tightening up again. Understand that it's coming and going. But that circulation is going to be out of Chilton County way before 2 o'clock. And we'll see if they make the decision to warn for northern Coosa or maybe southern Talladega. Sylacauga is here. This is US 280. And US 231 force off after Stewartville down to Hanover and Rockford here. So again, this spot could be a possible small spin-up tornado. Is approaching the Coosa River. And again, that'll be crossing over the Lay Lake Dam and then moving over into northern parts of Coosa and extreme southern parts of Talladega County. Again, the end that's down here towards Sylacauga. And we'll see how the Weather Service handles that. Let's check the other circulation in Autauga really quickly, because a lot of folks obviously are trying to travel today using Interstate 65. And again, that circulation is now east of I-65, and it's again kind of between Marbury and Pine Level here. So let's give it about 5 more minutes before we can give an all clear. Once this thing crosses east of I-65, we can give an all clear for all of I-65. But I want to show the tornado watch real quick, the watches we have in place across the state. The counties here in yellow, that is a tornado watch. And this includes a pretty good chunk of north and central Alabama. The northwestern counties have been cleared up here for the watch. That would include Franklin, Lawrence, Lauderdale, and Coleman. The storms for now have passed with round 1. We have a flash flood watch for much of central Alabama. The counties are green. That extends up to the north as well. But this new latest watch is for East Alabama and parts of Georgia. This doesn't include Atlanta. So you basically got a tornado watch in effect from Jackson, Birmingham to Atlanta, as far north as Huntsville, as far south as Guthrie. And you can see really throughout that entire watch zone, we just have 2 small polygons that are both right here in central Alabama, Interstate 65. That's it, which is a good thing. It's nice to see a watch with such a large, expansive watch. Look at these 2 watches here. There's 2 warnings. So let's go back to the radar, and we'll take a look at both of them. Of course, this is the one that's farther to the south. This is the one that's in Autauga County, near Pine Level and Marbury. And again, soon that's going to be east of the interstate. We give it all clear. Let's go back up to Coosa County. And Taylor, will they extend this? Have you seen any chat on that?
They are not inclined to, but I haven't seen any kind of definitive. Of course, we're waiting on these radar scans to see whether or not it's looking like it is going to ramp back up. But I haven't gotten a definitive answer yet.
Okay. So we'll find out here in a minute. And again, if not even remotely close to this, okay? We by county for a long, long time, we issue small geometric shapes like this, polygons, if you will, and that's why we say respect the polygon. If you're in it, you've got to take your tornado precautions. If you're not, watch things, but don't worry about it. And again, Rockford, you are not in the polygon. This is US 31 right here. Stewartville, you are. This is US 280 right here. And again, so this is for northern Coosa County. We've got the possible tornadic circulation crossing the river, really not too far from the Lay Lake Dam. And that'll be crossing over into the rural part of northern Coosa County. So northern Coosa County, you are under a tornado warning. And that is going to be in effect until 2:30 this afternoon. And I think it will be canceled or it'll be way out of there by then. But that's just the typical, the standard length of things. Thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was near Deatsville or northwest of Millbrook, moving east at 30. I'm sorry, this is for Elmore. I take it back. I'm reading. This is for, so we have a new tornado warning for Elmore. So let's go down to the southern one here. This is our new tornado warning. We have two new warnings, this one and that one.
Wow.
These are an extension of the old warnings. So we have a new tornado warning in effect for the northern part of Elmore County, and that's the one I was reading here. The possible tornado near Deatsville or 9 miles northwest of Millbrook, moving east at 30. So again, this is the northern part of Elmore County. This does not include Wetumpka. Montgomery is down here. Prattville is down here. All of this is north of Prattville, north of Wetumpka. So if you are north of Wetumpka, you need to be sheltered in this polygon here. And then if you're in northern Coosa County, right here, you need to be sheltered. Interesting how this both kind of played out. We've got these northern parts of those two counties. So Taylor, looks like we'll be here for a while.
Yes, it does look like it. And then just kind of looking down the line a little bit south of here, look at all those little circulations. They're kind of trying to get their act together. So one of those days where we're going to kind of be playing whack-a-mole. But we do have that new tornado warning that includes the northern part of Coosa County. That is going to include Marble Valley, Gold Branch, Weogufka, also towards Stewartville. This will include 231. We'll have to see. This latest radar scan as it's moving over the river, we might actually have a quick water spout there if it's moving over the river. And it looks like, and you can see a little bit of a tightening there near Hidden Valley with that circulation right there, just to the west of Hidden Valley. This is going to be moving in the general direction of Hidden Valley, Marble Valley. It'll likely move north of Gold Branch, coming close to Weogufka and then Stewartville along 231 if it holds together, which it has been doing. We've had this exact storm warned for quite some time now, and the original warning on this circulation was back into Demopolis, and then it kind of cycled down for a little while, and we had the new warnings issued. So we've been tracking this specific circulation for quite some time, and that's just kind of going to be the way it is today. These storms kind of just cycling, but I'm going to check first the correlation coefficient here. For the moment, not seeing any indication that we have any lofted debris, but that can quickly change in these types of situations. But I do have to say, within the last scan or two, as this is starting to move over the river, that velocity certainly looks a little bit more impressive. Certainly has tightened up just a bit, where we're seeing those bright reds and those bright greens come together.
There's your river thing.
Just to the west of Hidden Valley here, moving in the general direction of likely crossing between Marble Valley, or just on the southern edge of Marble Valley and Gold Branch. And it's going to continue moving to the northeast about 40 miles per hour.
Confirmed tornado
so
over
we'll have
Lily.
to watch this carefully. We've been watching this one for
big TDS.
a while now.
Damn.
But it does seem like, you know, it makes sense that the National Weather Service has decided to extend this, just because although it's been weakening here and there, it also has been kind of cycling and showing times when it can be strengthening a little bit. So we're going to be paying attention here to this correlation coefficient, watching carefully, and that could be when we just had that tightening just to the west of Hidden Valley. This could potentially be a little bit of a drop in that CC from when we had that quick scan of a tight couplet there, which could mean we did have a quick tornado touchdown there just to the west of Hidden Valley. So it makes sense that we had that warning extended. And if you live within this warning in northern Coosa County, you need to remain in that safe place. This now is, National Weather Service is calling this an observed tornado. With that drop in CC, that confirms to us that this tornado has touched down in recent history. So we'll have to keep watching this carefully as it moves towards the northeast.
All right, so again, it's 1:44. I'm James Spann with Taylor Cirillo. We're here in the weather office. We're working a couple of tornado warnings. The one that's in our television market, it's this one. This is the tornado warning in effect for northern Coosa County. And again, you can see that we have evidence of a tornado now that has just crossed the Coosa River from Chilton County into Coosa County. And for Chilton County, we can give you an all clear from this rotation. So again, Chilton County, from this rotation, all clear. It's now exclusively an issue for northern Coosa. To get your bearings straight, the town of Sylacauga is right here. This is Weogufka right here. Stewartville is right here. The town of Unity is right here. Gold Branch is right here. This is a very sparsely densely populated part of northern Coosa County, which means we often are not going to get a lot of reports out of there, but still it looks like we've had some debris that's being wafted, and again the Weather Service is going to call this a confirmed tornado based on that lowering of the correlation coefficient. So again, this is near the Smith Lake Dam, and again that's moving northeast at 35 miles an hour, and it's crossed over the Coosa, again, around the Lake Dam, over into northern parts of Coosa County. And again, just to get your bearings straight, Talladega Springs is right here. This is Talladega County up here. This is Coosa County right here. The largest town involved here would be Sylacauga, and you're not in the polygon. You were not in the polygon. I just wanted to make a reference to Sylacauga on the map. And then Rockford is down to the south. Rockford, you are not in the polygon. This is pretty much exclusively for the area between Sylacauga and Rockford in northern Coosa County. Weogufka, again, is located right here. Stewartville is right here. And again, we're going to keep an eye on this, and if this continues to move along, it could wind up in parts of Clay County or maybe extreme southern Talladega County soon. So if you're in places like Ashland or Lineville or Millerville, just keep an eye on this.
On this cell too.
And again, the signatures have not been overly impressive today. They come and they go, and most likely if we have a tornado down, it's going to be down for just a few minutes, and it goes right back up. It is really tough. Let's go to our live stream. I want to take a look at Evan's live shot. Evan has been coming through Chilton County, and Evan is on US 31 in Chilton, and don't know if we've got Evan's mic up where I can talk to him. Evan, if you by chance can hear me, I know that the biggest issue you've had in Chilton, it's not the tornado stuff, but the flooding problems today.
Yeah, so far down here, I hope you guys can hear me as well. I know it's spotty, but I'm back on US 31, still headed north. I've essentially gone from, I started off north of Jemison, and I've been kind of going back and forth. There's been some gusty winds at times. I have not seen any damage. That's why I was doubling back. I thought, all right, we had that broad rotation. Let's see if there's anything. And so far, no. And I'm just entering Thorsby as we speak. And the biggest thing has been the heavy rain. We had brief gusty winds, but to my estimate, and this is a big boxy vehicle, so we catch every bit of the wind if we're in it. And it felt like maybe 30, 35, and it was very brief.
And again, Evan is coming and going with the cell service there. But again, you get the idea of what he's been dealing with. And again, Evan is on US 31 in Chilton County. But again, the possible tornado is now across the river. Again, so
sorry, I took us down to this.
Right, that's Elmore. That's a good looking signature right here. So again, this is for Elmore County. And again, you've got what could be a tornado down just to the west of Holtville. And again, that'll be crossing Highway 231. The main north-south road through Elmore County is 231. Goes from Rockford down to Wetumpka. And this will likely be crossing 231. Of course, we've got to cross the river first. Titus is right here. This is Lake Jordan. And again, that'll be crossing the river and then crossing Highway 231. So again, if you know anybody down here in Elmore County, call them and let them know. Let's look at the velocity real quick on this product. And again, yeah, it's a good-looking couplet. This is clearly the dominant storm of the two. We've got the storm in northern Coosa. We've got the storm in northern Elmore. This one has the better inflow, and it's got the better signature right now. And again, a very good indication of a possible tornado that is in the far northwestern part of Elmore County that has moved out on Autauga County. And again, for Autauga County and I-65, we'll give you an all clear. I know some of you have been waiting on that. I-65 all clear from Birmingham to Montgomery right now. Could there be more problems later? Yes.
We got to roll.
But for now, we have no tornado problems along Interstate 65 from Birmingham to Montgomery. So that whole length, you're good. But again, that's the Elmore. This is the Coosa. And again, that looks like it's tightened up a little bit in northern Coosa. Taylor?
Yeah, this last scan kind of looks like we're getting a little bit of a tightening there of that rotation, which was just what we saw a couple minutes ago as it was crossing over the river, and then we had that quick TDS show up in the correlation coefficient, and it looks now like we are potentially seeing another tightening. Not yet.
We've had to go to Tornado Central down here for real. It looks good.
All the kidneys.
Dude, 1, the Deatsville tornado,
Oh, wow.
2, 3,
Okay.
4, 5.
That reminds me of a certain day. You fall a day. Oh, it kind of.
Lowering him that CC with that tightening up like that. And the presentation on this looks like we have a stronger rotation both from the Birmingham radar and from the Montgomery radar, and those are co-located. So it does look like we are having some kind of something going on here with the tightening of that circulation. Just in between Marble Valley and Hidden Valley, this is going to keep moving in the general direction of Stewartville towards 231. We've got a while until that happens, but you are within that tornado warning polygon, so you should be in that safe place. So now at this point, it looks like we have two fairly distinct tornado signatures ongoing in central Alabama with both of these warnings here.
Over to WEXO 5 if we can really quickly. I wanted to show some more of the damage. This is along County Road 1 near Spring Hill. This is in Marengo County. This would be southeast of Demopolis. And this is from Casey Eatman. She says there's more damage, but these are all the photos I have right now. My grandfather-in-law was taken to the hospital for chest pains, and his house has a hole in the walkway wall. And again, this is some of the damage from earlier storms in Marengo County, North Marengo County, southeast of Demopolis, a little south of Gallium. And we've seen a number of photographs from that area earlier today. So again, that's a sign of what these smaller tornadoes can do, and they have been doing today. So let's go back to the radar. And again, it's 1:51. We are here, and I want to stress there are no tornado warnings in the Birmingham Metro. It is pouring. We have flooding problems, but we're focusing on the tornado danger, and in our television market, this is it right here. This is in northern Coosa County. We have the possibility of a tornado that would be in the vicinity of Marble Valley. No. This is east of the Coosa, east of the Lay Lake Dam.
You need to be almost.
And again, that's going to be scooting right across the northern tier of Coosa County. Weogufka's been taken out of the polygon, okay? And what the Weather Service refines the polygon is the rotation moves along, and we can get people out or in based on the motion. And again, for those of you in Weogufka, you are now out of the polygon. So that's good. Of course, Rockford has never been in it. Sylacauga, you're not in it. The concern is really between Hanover and Sylacauga right here. And if this continues moving in this direction, this could very well wind up in Clay County, which is right here. So again, if you're in Millerville, Ashland, Lineville, just kind of keep an eye on this, and we'll watch this together.
There's going to be some
I've seen multiple reports from some friends down in Chilton County that have good connections, and I've not seen any reports of significant damage in Chilton, which is good. I assume, Taylor, you have not either.
I have not either.
I don't want
that's
honestly, I wouldn't even get the stairwell. I'd
typically
get underneath
there's something going on.
Because after this passage, y'all are good, and I think it's going to go to your south.
These are just going to be challenging storms to deal with today.
No,
and again, I know you've been watching this for the last few hours. You've heard us say this over and over, but understand.
Oh, wow, that thing's getting much more cyclonic.
These are not going to be the type tornadoes that
you know where it's going to go?
30 minutes warning. These are short-lived tornadoes. And they get down and they're gone. And they produce damage and they're gone. And it's really hard warning for these things.
Yeah, it's going to
the battle is to just keep warnings up for everything, or do you just kind of tell people to be looking out for what could be a tornado? Clearly, this is the right thing to do in this situation here by the Weather Service, is keep this warning in effect in northern Coosa. And again, there's broad rotation up here in Fayetteville. This is... In fact, let's look at that one down in Elmore real quick. I mean, this is... dominant circulation of all the ones we've seen so far in the last, I'd say, 30 minutes or so.
It's headed toward
and again, that circulation here is going to be crossing over Highway 231 pretty soon. There's a lower CC value here, correlation coefficient. That means it's not a high meteor. It's not a raindrop. It's not a hailstone. It's not a snowflake. It's not anything having anything to do with water. This is something different. And typically it involves tree limbs being lofted or leaves being lofted. It's in the season where we're fall and the leaves are changing. Sometimes if there's structural damage, that might be boards or bricks or glass or nails and things like that. So again, there's evidence of a little lowering here near Hopeville. And again, that's going to be crossing Highway 231 between Wetumpka and the Coosa County line. So again, if you're in northern Elmore, County. Just be aware there's a tornado warning in effect here. This county is served by the Montgomery television market, but again, we know in this new world, anybody can watch anybody. So I just want to remind folks of this, and if you know anybody in these communities down here in the northern part of Elmore County, just let them know. Let them know you've got a problem here in a potential tornado that's about to cross Highway 231. It's crossing the river right here. This is the Coosa. This is Lake Jordan, and that'll be crossing Highway 231 soon. So folks need to be sheltered for that. Let's go back to the northern Coosa, which is in our television market. And again, this is a storm that has come across Chilton County, and it's now in northern Coosa. And again, the good news, we don't see any lowered CC values. This is the reflectivity. It's going to rain. It's going to be hail, thunder, lightning, and possibly a small tornado. And again, the signatures have not been the really sexy ones that you sometimes see on television, but for a brief volume scan or two, they tighten up, and there's evidence we could see a tornado down. At the moment, it does not look that impressive, but it might change in 5 minutes, and the Weather Service will probably keep this small polygon in play in effect for at least the next 10 to 15 minutes. And again, to get your bearings straight, Sylacauga here, this is US 231 here, that's 280 going down toward Opelika. This is US 231 going down toward Wetumpka. And again, that broad circulation is kind of scooting the far, far northern part of Coosa County. This is Talladega, and this is Coosa right here. Again, Taylor, any reports of damage?
No.
A lot of sources over there.
I'm still just seeing a lot from back when we were tracking things in Perry County, some of those earlier warnings. There does look like there are tree limbs down, things like that. Also, we've got some flooding ongoing just elsewhere in central Alabama. But in terms of any kind of damage report associated with the current circulation that we are tracking, I have not seen anything. I'm going to keep looking, though, because there was a point where we did see that lowering of the CC as this crossed over into Coosa County. So far, haven't seen anything coming in, though, recently. And with this most recent scan, this right here does not look to be any kind of impressive tornado circulation. Doesn't mean that it can't ramp back up, but for the time being, that radar trend is good with that northern circulation that we've been watching here in parts of Coosa County. Like we were saying, it does appear that southern circulation does appear to be the dominant circulation. Worth noting, we do have now a flood advisory that covers much of Jefferson County, stretching up into...
You got a developing tornado about to go over top of your house. Yours, yeah, it may go just a little bit to the south of your house, but I bet you CC can see it from the mountain out the back doors. The other side of the hill, but it's getting nasty. They had a tornado down in Hidden Valley about 15 minutes ago. Well, they had debris in the air, and then we had a tornado down at Deatsville in northern Elmore that's headed toward 231 right now, which is going to go north of Wetumpka. So, yeah, but that one over your house is actually the most, or just south of your house is the most significant. Hell, it's finna go right through Oak Grove, Sylacauga. There's going to be a tornado. Let me call Rachel. She needs to get her dad down now. Yeah, it's going right for her house. I don't know, man. That's a nasty looking circulation headed that way. Well, she ain't got much time. I'm just telling you, it's about to be at 280. Bye-bye. They're saying that thing looks to be a broad mezzo. I don't know about that. That thing looks to be getting pretty tight to me on radar. It's going right. It's going right at your dad's house. Right there at your dad's house. I called Cody and told Wanda, yeah, I wouldn't wait for a warning because they're behind the 8 ball on this one if it actually does touch down. I can see the ball wrapping up in the... It's not past 280 yet. It's about to hit 280. It's due south of the house right now. But the problem is it's starting to ramp up to me right there in the area where you would see a convergent signature, and they're going to wait until they get a TDS. Maybe it broadened a little bit on that. All right. They issued a severe for it. Okay. Alright. Alright, cool. I'm going to continue on my track then. I was just trying to see what the heck was going on there, because if it was going to get rough, I needed to pay attention to it. Alright, yeah, that one southwest of Montgomery's about to produce a big old tornado, so I'm trying to get there. But alright, I'll give you a shout. Bye. Alright. Let's go get it.
We're in a 45.
We must be passing through... Okay, we just passed through Brent. Alright, we're alright. Hey, that whole line of those daggone circulations down through there north of 85, with what the Deatsville storm just did going up north of Wetumpka. Yeah, I'm kind of man, if that wraps back in, that Deatsville storm's gonna be nasty. Or north. Yeah, I'm hoping so. I'm hoping. Yeah, so are we. We're coming down 82. We're about to be in southwest Chilton and then Autauga. So that's why we're trying to get down here as quick as we can. But we're making pretty good time now. Yeah. Yeah, the winds there, the wind field at Montgomery is what's impressive. So, all right, cool. Sounds good. Bye-bye. That thing's got a you got a beware on a storm northwest of Montgomery right now. I don't understand. Gusted 52 in Silicaga. did I do that?
Do some wind damage. So again, for everybody that happens to be at Lake Martin, a lot of folks are probably back from their lake house after the long holiday, New Year's holiday week. But for those that live there or those that are there now, places like Wind Creek State Park, just understand that that's a pretty rough storm headed your way. Any other reports, Taylor, from you?
A lot of heavy rain. A lot of folks are talking about the heavy rain. So yeah, that's been certainly probably the most widespread thing that we have been dealing with across Central Alabama has been the heavy rain, and it continues especially along into the west of I-65. Getting kind of a break, on to the east of I-65. We're getting kind of a break to the west of I-65 now, and then we're monitoring all of these little thunderstorms. You can kind of tell a difference in the structures of these storms. So if you're looking along into the north of I-20, just a steady, heavy rain. It's south of I-20 where we have a little bit better of that instability at this point, where you start to see those storms just look a little different. They're a little bit more squiggly looking. They have a different weird shape to them. Those are some of the storms where we're seeing that possibility of some rotation. That's where at this point that main focus for a stronger severe storm is going to be. We're watching these now crossing over 65, and we'll keep watching these carefully, but this is not the end of our severe threat. Once these warnings go away, we're not completely done. We can see more rounds a little bit later tonight of some possible strong severe storms. So we got to watch that carefully as well. But for the time being, we are monitoring these 2 tornado warnings and 1 severe thunderstorm warning. That severe thunderstorm warning covering southern Talladega County, including the city of Autauga there. That's really kind of that mesocyclone we've got going on, some broad rotation that we are keeping a close eye on. And then we've got that tornado warning polygon that does include northern Coosa County. But at this point, not really a strong indication of any kind of rotation going on there. So I wouldn't be surprised if that dropped pretty soon or allowed to expire. And then south of our television viewing market, we do have the rotation there that has broadened out a bit since we started tracking it. But at this point, still bears watching. We have some broad circulation in northern Elmore County as well. And I'm getting word from the National Weather Service that Coosa tornado warning has been, we do have 1 severe thunderstorm warning that includes parts of Talladega County, and then there is a tornado warning south of our television viewing market. That would be in the Montgomery viewing market for Elmore County.
I just got a report of a tree on top of a house down in around Hopeville and Slapout. You ever been to Slapout?
I have not.
It's in Elmore County. Interesting place. And I've got a great story about Millbrook. We'll tell that another day. It involved a hot dog eating contest, and you don't want to hear that story. But anyway, so we do not have any tornado warnings in effect for any part of our television market. The only tornado warning in the whole state is this one down here in northern Elmore. We should mention, though, there is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect now for southern, is really the most significant storm. And understand, everybody's getting just soaking rains. You're getting some hail. You're getting some strong winds. But remember, to be severe, you've got to have winds of 58 miles per hour or greater, or hail 1 inch in diameter or larger. And the Weather Service believes this storm could meet that criteria, mainly based on the wind potential. And it's coming right on through Sylacauga, and it's crossing Highway 21 up towards Sycamore and Winterboro. And that'll be moving over into Clay County, which is over here. This is Millerville, Ashland, and Lineville here. So, again, if you're in Clay County, just be aware that segment of this big rain warning, that is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for the southern part of Talladega County. We're going to keep it here for just a little bit to be sure we don't have any additional tornado warnings that are issued for our television market. Again, the goods are in effect here for much of Jefferson, parts of Blount, St. Clair counties for this torrential rain and flooding problems, but there's no tornado issue here. And really, once this segment passes on to the east, the risk of severe weather has faded for a while. There could be another round of this tonight, so just keep that in mind. We'll just have to wait and see. And again, many times I've seen a situation where we have a day like this and you have this going on, it just works the air over completely, and it really makes it hard for a second round to get going. And hopefully that's the case this time, but we don't know that for sure. But you still need to be weather aware, be able to hear warnings tonight and early tomorrow morning after midnight if they are needed. And once we get all of this out of here, we can review the atmosphere. We get the new balloon launches at 6 o'clock this evening to see the state of the atmosphere from top to bottom. But again, for the Birmingham Metro, I say the risk of any tornado activity is really ended for now. Let's look at our tornado watch. I know some counties have been cleared out of here. Tuscaloosa has been cleared out. Pickens, Fayette, Walker, Cullman, Winston, Marion, Lamar,
come on.
Franklin, Lawrence, Morgan, all the counties in the Tennessee Valley are out of the tornado watch. And soon, Jefferson and Blount will be taken out. There's no need for the tornado watch to be in effect there. They'll be taken out soon. So really from Birmingham north and west, the risk of severe weather for now has ended. The concern is now in areas south and east of Birmingham. And let's go back to our tornado warning one more time down here. And this is in northern Elmore. And the last time I looked at this, it was pretty broad. For a while, it really looked good. We had a TDS, a tornado debris signature, and that still looks pretty good. I mean, we've got evidence of what could be a tornado about to cross Alabama Highway 9. Again, this is the county line right here. This is Coosa County. This is Elmore County. And this potential tornado is approaching Alabama Highway 9. And it's going to cross near the county line, the Coosa-Elmore County line. And they might have to extend a warning into the extreme southeastern corner.
That's been
what's going on there. And we've had some damage, confirmed damage. So let's go back to the radar. And the Weather Service is going to have to decide what they're going to do with this. If they extend this into maybe the rest of Elmore, maybe clipping Coosa or Tallapoosa. This is Tallapoosa County right here. We're not seeing any debris at the moment being lofted here. And remember, we just don't expect a long track tornado today. We don't expect a big EF4, EF5. Having said that, there might be a strong tornado, maybe over South Alabama at some point this evening, Southeast Alabama with this lead batch. But where we are, the northern half of the state, these are going to be short-lived and very tough to deal with. Very challenging. And again, I tell you, if you're frustrated with the way the warning process is working, you have a warning, you don't have a warning, you sit down there in that warning seat, it's hard. It is really hard. And the guys at the Weather Service office here do an amazing job of keeping the POD high, that's probability of detection, and keeping the FAR low, the false alarm ratio. The last thing you want is false alarms, that's crying wolf. And they've really, really gone back to basic science in the last 12 years and done a remarkable job of doing that here. I think they lead the nation in that, quite frankly. But again, possible tornado, northern Elmore, right on Highway 9, just south of the town of Equality. And again, that'll be crossing over into Lake Martin here. And we'll see what the Weather Service does with that. Let's go back to the Sylacauga storm real quick. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning in effect now for southern Talladega. There's no evidence of a tornado here. That's not a tornado signature. That's very broad rotation here. But again, we probably have some small hail. The flooding rain is part of the big deal. Right up from the quarry up to downtown Sylacauga, right up Highway 21 up toward Winterboro. It is just absolutely pouring, and so many of you have dealt with that kind of rain during the course of the day today. Had a lot of flooding issues as well, but of course we're trying to focus on the tornado threat. And again, but I think, Taylor, it seems like the two trouble spots were Marengo County at Spring Hill and near Marion so far, from what we've heard.
Those have been the two areas that I've seen, kind of some of the things that you've been mentioning on air, where we had some trees down, things like that. I do know that they are checking on, remember we had that correlation coefficient lowering as that storm was crossing over into Coosa County. We got that quick TDS. So far, I know they're checking on that. We haven't seen any reports of any trees down or anything in that location. Something happened because we did have that lowering of the CC. I'm just not quite sure where exactly where those trees are down. So it takes a little while for those responders to get out there and figure out what's going on with that. But haven't seen any widespread damage from this. We have seen some flooding problems. I've been watching that flooding situation on our Gallery tower camera view, and it does look like that is improving a bit, which is good. And I'll just keep monitoring for that rain continues in some of the same locations. But for now, you're kind of starting to see the road again. It looks like traffic's moving a bit more smoothly. We don't see all of the water being thrown up in the tires of those cars. But with these next couple of rounds of rain, those kind of problems could show back up again. We do note that the circulation that we're watching in Elmore County broadened out a little bit. We had that one scan or two where it did kind of look a little bit more impressive, but it broadened out a little bit. Still looks a little suspicious. So we'll keep an eye on that for now, and we're still waiting on a decision. The National Weather Service, of course, they're looking through all of their data, and they are going to decide whether or not it's problems. We've got that severe thunderstorm warning for a very small part of Talladega County, the southeastern corner of Talladega County near Sylacauga. Heavy rain there, strong wind there. You might be getting some hail as well. And then that one small tornado warning polygon that includes Elmore County, and we will be watching that one carefully as well. Other than that, if you live north and west of Birmingham, you are, for the most part, done with this first round. Rain is coming to an end, but don't completely let your guard down because we will likely see another round of rain and thunder and the possibility of some strong storms a little bit later this evening. We've got rain falling in Bibb County, Shelby County, but no severe weather there now. We've also got some heavy rain falling along I-50. Now we've got two small polygons on the board. One is a severe thunderstorm polygon that includes parts of Talladega County, and then one tornado warning polygon for northern Elmore County. And we can take it back down into that and check on the latest radar situation there and see what the trends are with that. We are looking from the...
It's almost up on the lake now.
Yeah.
Right up on top of Lake Martin, the northern part of Lake Martin. So again, just be aware of that. If you know anybody around the lake, let them know that pretty rough storm is headed their way. That thing, the rotation's out of the polygon. It's fairly broad, and I don't think Birmingham's going to reissue a tornado warning at this point, but it certainly could produce some strong winds. Let's go to WEX 05 for a minute. Just wanted to show that this damage tailors from Smith Lake.
Oh, wow.
So we did have some wind damage north of Birmingham with the line when it came through there. This is some wind damage to a boathouse there. This happened earlier today. I've seen some other images of some wind damage up around Smith Lake this afternoon. And again, this is some of the damage from Perry County. This was apparently a small tornado. This is just north of Marion, up Perry County Highway 29. That happened earlier today when we had multiple tornado warnings in effect for Perry County. That is not in the town. I just don't understand that. But again, this is some more of the damage that we have seen. Again, this is coming from Spring Hill in Marengo County. Goodness, the state birds have been flying today. Wow. And we've had some hail today on top of all that. Well, let's go back to the radar. And again, we're going to go back to programming here at 2:30 Central if we do not have any additional warnings. So we're going to pick up regular programming here in about 9-10 minutes from now. And I say this all the time. We're not here to flap away our gums on television. If we don't have any tornado warnings, we want to get you back to regular programming here. But again, this is what we've got. We've got the heaviest rain east of Birmingham. If you're north and west of Birmingham, the risk of tornadoes is over for now. There could be a second round tonight, maybe late tonight. The question is, can the atmosphere support another round of severe storms after being worked over by this? We don't know that at this point. Maybe, maybe not. Hopefully not. But again, just mainly heavy rain and flooding. That's the main concern here from Sand Mountain right down through Gadsden, Lincoln, Pell City, Talladega, Sylacauga, and then back into parts of southwest Alabama. And I think for Anniston, Gadsden, just heavy rain. That's the main problem. Yes, some thunder and lightning and gusty winds, but there's no evidence of any severe weather problems up through here. Again, we do have that one severe thunderstorm warning for the area just northeast of Sylacauga. The one tornado warning in effect is the one down here in Elmore County, and quite frankly, that circulation has moved out of the polygon and quite broad. The circulation is about to cross over Lake Martin here, and it's broad. It doesn't look like a tornado at the moment, but still, and we do not have a tornado warning in effect for Tallapoosa County. Small hail falling in through here, and we'll still be watching carefully counties like Cleburne, Randolph, Clay, Tallapoosa, and Chambers. This is where there could be one of these small spin-up tornadoes. We've been dealing with this stuff for the last, since 11:30 for the last 3 hours. And again, these are just challenging times. Okay, there's your new tornado warning. So let's take a look at this. This is an extension of that warning, and this is what would include Lake Martin here. And I think they were going to do that. So we do have a tornado warning in effect now for parts of Tallapoosa County. This does not include Alexander City. Alexander City, you are not in the polygon here. This does include Dadeville. It does include the northern part of Lake Martin. In fact, much of Lake Martin, around Wind Creek State Park and places like that. And this is US 280 right here, so we advise no travel along US Highway 280, but really between Alexander City and Camp Hill. And again, Dadeville, you're in the polygon. Lake Martin, you're in the polygon. Potential tornadic circulation right here. And I should mention, this does include, Taylor, that southeastern tip of Coosa County.
It does, yes. So just to the east of Equality is where we have that possible rotation right now. It's moving through southeastern Coosa County. We're going to continue to watch this system as it moves towards the northeast. And the reason that the National Weather Service is deciding to extend this is because at times we've seen this cycling. We've seen where that tornado or the potential for tornadic circulation looks a little bit more evident, and then other best course of action is to have everybody in their safe place. So if you live in this tornado warning polygon, we want you in your safe place. This does include that extreme southeastern corner of Coosa County. This is just to the south of Fish Pond, just to the east of Equality. And it's going to be moving into Tallapoosa County here pretty soon, moving in the general direction of Dadeville. And it's right now not looking quite as impressive as it has. But that doesn't mean within a couple radar scans in a few minutes here, we couldn't see this potentially strengthen just a little bit. So we're going to continue to monitor this circulation. We are getting some updates to the tornado watch, so we can go over there as well and talk some more about that. I'm going to pull that up here. We are getting, I don't know if it's actually being reflected yet. It's going to take a minute for it to show up in our system. But we've got some more counties being removed from this tornado watch as your severe threat comes to an end. We'll check back on this in a second once we give our system some time to load that new update. But for now, we have a new tornado warning that includes parts of Coosa County, stretching into Tallapoosa County. This center of circulation is headed in the general direction of Jackson's Gap, Dadeville. This will, if it holds together, eventually be crossing over 280 near or to the north of Dadeville in Tallapoosa County. So we'll have to keep a close eye on this, as we have been for quite some time. This has been a rotation that's really sustained itself for a while now. We've seen this cycling for really quite some time, for over an hour for sure, with this same storm here. And we will put back on that storm relative velocity, and we are looking for signs that this is showing any kind of tightening in the rotation. I'm actually going to switch our radar sites here, and we can see a little bit better picture of what's going on here from the Montgomery radar, because we are looking at a lower level within that storm, so that gives us a better idea of what necessarily is happening at the surface. So that gives us a closer look at the layers of the atmosphere where we're really concerned with that rotation being. And we've got broad rotation right now moving out of Coosa County that is now crossing over into Tallapoosa County. So I would not be surprised if pretty soon here Coosa County is actually dropped from this warning as it starts to be trimmed away from the west towards the east. But this will likely continue on that northeastward direction. Let me check on the motion of that. It's moving fairly slowly east at 30 miles per hour. So for now, we have a new tornado warning that does include parts of Coosa, Elmore, and Tallapoosa counties for that same circulation that we've been tracking for quite some time. This was back in Elmore County. We saw this cycle a few times, and so we're just going to watch and see the behavior of this system, whether or not it decides to cycle again as it crosses from Coosa County over into Tallapoosa County. I'm going to check back on that tornado watch now and see if our system is reflecting that update. And it is. As you can see, more counties have been dropped from that tornado watch. So Birmingham removed, or excuse me, not Birmingham, Jefferson County, which does include Birmingham, removed from that watch. We've got Shelby County removed from the watch. Bibb County, Tuscaloosa, Green, Hale have all been removed from that tornado watch. Also, Gwinnett County. So those are the counties where, for the time being, your severe threat has come to an end. You're still dealing with some rain. You might hear some thunder. But for now, we're not expecting tornadoes in your location. It's where we have all the yellow counties here, and you can see that one tornado warning polygon that we've been tracking for a while. Still have some of the ingredients in place to continue with the possibility of a few tornado warnings. This is going to last, hasn't been canceled yet because we still are tracking a few storms that have that possibility. So make sure you're staying weather aware. And remember, we might have another round of this a little bit later in the evening. So it's possible that we could see some locations go under another watch a little bit later this evening. So just make sure you are remaining weather aware. Not just now, but into the evening hours as well.
Let's go to Wexo 5 real quick. These are going to be some images coming in from Elmore County. Again, this is some tree damage in the vicinity of Slapout and Deepsville. And again, what the Weather Service will do, they will be sending survey teams in tomorrow to look at all of this to see what was caused by straight line wind, what was caused by maybe a small tornado. And it's obviously, we can't tell just by looking at the still images, but the storm that is over Elmore has clearly produced some damage. And we've also had some reports of some structural damage as well down there. So let's go back to the radar. Again, I know we said we're going to go back to programming at 2:30, but as long as Coosa County is under a warning, we have to stay here. And really and truly, Coosa County is about to be taken out. We can take that out, and very shortly we can take out that southeastern corner of Coosa. That tornadic circulation is about to cross over the northern part of Lake Martin. And again, that'll be coming over the lake and then coming out here toward Dadeville.
Strong circulation. Starting to.
He's in the Montgomery television market.
Get a little better.
Not to Birmingham. It breaks our heart, but it's always been that way. But we know that a lot of people watch us there. We certainly understand that. And again, we will kind of stay with this for a while longer. I know it's coming up on 2:30 right now. We just did 2:30. But again, we have a tornadic circulation that has crossed out of the southeastern corner of Coosa into Tallapoosa County. And again, that's going to be crossing over Lake Martin here in the next 5 to 10 minutes, over the next 10 minutes or so, and then crossing over Highway 280 around Dadeville, maybe back up toward Jackson's Gap. We stress Alexander City up here is not in the polygon. You're not. You're good. This is all south of you. Is it raining? Yes. Is it weather horrible? Yes. But in terms of the tornado threat, the polygon defined here, this is where the tornado threat is. So again, if you're in the polygon or know anybody down here, help us out and call them and let them know. To kind of watch the coverage or tell them what the situation is. The warning will be in effect until 3 o'clock this afternoon. And again, the Weather Service in a moment, they're going to take out Coosa because it's all east of Coosa. And it's all to the east of Elmore. So the only county involved in this basically now is Tallapoosa County. And again, circulation that has been kind of cycling. It's there, kind of broad, but it's there. That'll be crossing over Lake Martin and crossing over Highway 280, Jackson's Gap, maybe down toward Dadeville, and then moving in the direction of Chambers County over here in far east Alabama. But let's go back to the big picture. Look at reflectivity and look at the radar one more time to kind of give you an idea. Let's hold it there for just, let's go back to that watch. I want to talk about this. The Birmingham Metro, the watch is over. The watch has been canceled. Tuscaloosa, Bibb, Shelby, Jefferson, Blount, Marshall, DeKalb, the tornado watch is over. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning for Clay County, so let's take a look at that. This is the latest warning, and again, this is not a tornado warning. This is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Clay County. The same storm that came over Sylacauga is going to be moving through parts of Clay County here. And again, the main concern, the possibility of strong straight line winds in through here. This is Alabama Highway 148. That's that amazing road that goes over the Talladega Mountains here from Sylacauga to Millerville. And basically the line of storm sitting on top of the ridge right now. And that will ultimately be affecting Ashland and Lineville. The two biggest communities in Clay County are right here. So just be aware that if you are in Clay County, you have the chance of some strong, maybe damaging straight line winds, possibly up to 60 miles an hour with this line as it moves on to the east. And again, Alabama Highway 9 right here. Ashland, Lineville, right here. Chehaw State Park is right here to get your bearings straight. So just be aware of that. Wanted to point that out. This is not a tornado warning. This is a severe thunderstorm warning. And by definition, you can expect 1-inch hail. I don't think we have that going on here. I think the hail is smaller, probably really small hail. The main concern, the chance of winds that could exceed 58 miles an hour. That's the reason for that warning in effect. So the one warning we have in our television market, that is for Clay County, and that is a severe thunderstorm warning that will be in effect until, let's see, Taylor, what's the expiration time? 3:15. All right. So let's go back down to Lake Martin real quick, and we'll take a look at the rotation that is coming through the northern part of Lake Martin. And again, this is south of Alexander City. Again, the bridge over the Lake Martin is right here on 280. And it's still there. It's in the northern part of the polygon, and more likely this will affect Jackson's Gap instead of Dadeville. Dadeville is here, but still, forget all this malarkey. If you're in the polygon, respect it and go to a safe place. This includes Camp Hill, Dadeville, Jackson's Gap. It does not include Alexander City, but if you're in the polygon, we want you to be in a small room, hall, closet, bathroom, lowest floor, near the center, and no windows. No mobile homes. If you live in a mobile home, you need to be sheltered, a community shelter, or some business that's open, a gas station, a fast food restaurant that can offer shelter in a site-built structure. And you need to be in that place until the warning is canceled. And I know that is so inconvenient. I understand it. But I say this all the time. Life is a series of decisions. And goodness gracious, Taylor, look at that.
Yeah, I don't love the way that looks.
Oh, boy. That looks like a tornado warning is coming here for Clay. Wow. And this is right on top of the mountain up here. Maybe
I haven't gotten word that they're going to warn on it yet, but based on those latest scans on there.
Yeah, so we're going to keep it here. And again, if you are in Ashland or Lineville, be aware that there could be a small tornado down to the west of you. And that's going to keep on moving to the east, and that could impact you, and a tornado warning could be issued fairly soon.
I didn't even know
and there's so many of these things. They spin up and they spin down, and how many times have we said whack-a-mole today? That could be the Span-Taylor drinking game of the day. How many times are they going to say whack-a-mole? But that's exactly what we're doing here. Let's see, watching more of these images coming in, and
James is getting laid back on the old working there.
We've seen a lot of flooding images. We've got some Lake Jordan images coming in here too, which should be fairly interesting. And that, in fact, here's some damage shots coming in from Lake Jordan. This is around Hopeville and Slapout. I'll show these here in just a second. In fact, let's go to WEX 05. All right, so this is Lake Jordan. This is on the Coosa. This is in Elmore County, and that's what it looked like coming through the lake a little earlier. And you can see just winds whipping through there. And again, we've got some trees down. We've had some reports of structural damage in parts of Elmore County. And again, this is near Slapout and Elmore County. And again, that's right on Lake Jordan. This is going to be some of the damage that we are seeing here around the lake. And again, you can see a pretty good sized chunk of that tree has come down on top of that house. And again, that is an example of the type damage that we have seen today. And most likely that was probably caused by a small tornado. And again, the Weather Service, you think it's hard doing it today. They've got to go identify these tiny tornado tracks that lasted for a few minutes. But with damage like that, obviously, that's very significant. And again, that's some of the damage coming in from Elmore County today. So let's go back and take a look at our Clay County storm. It is 2:36, and we're watching tightening circulation here in Clay. And, you know, they might leave that severe thunderstorm warning up. And the way the warning is worded, it says it's capable of producing a a tornado, a brief tornado, and that's certainly what's happening here. And again, we don't expect them to last long, but if you're in Ashland or Lineville, just be aware that we've got evidence of circulation here. This Alabama Highway 77, that's the road from Ashland back up to Talladega. That's Alabama Highway 9 coming out of Ashland right here. That's Alabama Highway 148. Millerville is right here of the county. But just be aware that we have, for now, it's a severe thunderstorm warning polygon. Respect the polygon. And we have a severe thunderstorm warning down to the south. Looks like that's going to be for parts of Elmore and Montgomery counties. This includes the city of Montgomery here. The tornadic circulation is about 8, 9, 10 miles west of Ashland. So Ashland, Lineville, Barfield, you are in the polygon and you need to be sheltered. The southern facility is in the polygon. I think the tornado more likely stays pretty far to the north of Welborn, but Ashland is in the polygon, Lineville is in the polygon. So if you are in this northern half of Clay County, be aware that you might have a tornado that will be moving through in the next 10, 15, 20 minutes. Taylor, the warning is in effect until how long?
It is in effect until 3:30.
All right. 3:30, and again, that's going to keep us here on television for a while. And we should mention that that have concerns around Lake Martin, the warning has been canceled, so that is gone. So the only tornado warning we have in the entire state at this point is this one for Clay County. The warning is in effect again until 3:30. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 9 miles south of Waldo or 10 miles west of Ashland, moving northeast at 30 miles an hour. Let's check the CC, the correlation coefficient, to see if we have any debris being lofted at this point, and we do not. And remember, these are typically short-lived tornadoes, and oftentimes they don't get debris up to the point where you can see it on radar, even if something is down there. But in terms of travel advice, we recommend no travel along Alabama Highway 77 in Clay County between Ashland and the Talladega County line. Okay, no travel along Highway 77 from Ashland to the Talladega County line. And again, really, I would not want to be on Highway 9. Highway 9 is the main route here connecting Ashland and Lineville, Alabama Highway 9. And then again, over here toward Barfield, Delta, same thing. I would not want to be on the highway, and we want you to be sheltered. And if you're in a mobile home, you don't want to be in a mobile home. A fast food restaurant, something where you can get into a site-built structure and stay there until this passes. And remember, these are not long-lived tornado warnings today. These are going to be short-fused warnings, and the tornadoes are not lasting for a long time. It's not going to take a round two to develop. Densely populated, and typically when a small tornado moves through a place like that, you don't get a whole lot of reports, but it could be down. So again, tornado warning in effect now for parts of Clay County and East Alabama. And Taylor, I think this is the only one in the entire state, as far as I can tell, right?
Yes, there's one down in the South Alabama, but for now, in Alabama, this is the only tornado warning within the state.
Okay. Again, looking at some more of the images coming in, I'm seeing more damage around Lake Jordan, down around Slapout in Elmore County. But I want to stress that the warning for Tallapoosa has been ill-defined and is basically no longer there. And I tell you what, if you guys in the back can tell somebody next door to get us restarted on Facebook Live, I think we, thank you, Eric, Dennis, thank you. I think there might be a 4-hour limit on the Facebook Lives, and I think we hit the 4-hour limit. We are free over-the-air television. It's amazing. The quality is outstanding. A cheap antenna, you can receive so many channels and so much content free. So we are free over-the-air television, but we know that a lot of folks like to watch on their phone, which is great, and we want you to watch on your phone. But we stream on the ABC 3340 YouTube channel, Chromecast, one of those over-the-top type boxes. That's a really easy way of doing that. So and we're getting the Facebook Live reestablished right now for the folks that are watching on that platform. But anyway, if you are here, it is 2:45, and we were trying to go back to programming at 2:30. That didn't work because we've had these circulations that keep popping up, and the reason we're here, it is a tornado warning in effect for the northern part of Clay County. And again, to get your bearings straight here, Cragford is not in the polygon. Millerville is not in the polygon. It's well to the north of there now. Mellow Valley is not in the polygon. These southern communities in Clay County, you're not in the polygon. Basically, Ashland, Lineville North up to the Talladega line and the Cleveland County line, that's where the concern is right now. That circulation is on Highway 77 about 4 or 5 miles south of Chandler Springs. Moving to the northeast, and again, that's going to carry it near or north of these two larger towns in Clay County, Ashland and Lineville. And the circulation still looks pretty good. And again, you can see the polygon updating, the way the warning system works. The polygons update on a frequent basis to take out areas where the danger is over, and to keep areas in place where there is danger. And again, you can see that the new upgraded polygon still maintains Ashland and Lineville in there. Barfield is in it. Again, this whole Highway 9 stretch, this is Alabama Highway 9 right here that runs up to Delta and Chilafini. Highway 9 connects Ashland and Lineville. And, but again, Taylor, I got a gazillion followers on the Twitter and the Facebag, and I've not seen any damage from Clay County so far. And I would assume you have not either.
No, I do not have a gazillion followers, but I also have not seen any reports from Clay County. And
see, most of the damage I'm seeing is coming from around Slapout down in Elmore County. In fact, I'll show some of these images here in just a second, but the damage there certainly looks like it was caused by a tornado. And the radar signature was pretty impressive with that storm. In fact, let's look at Wexo 5 really quick, and I'll show you some of the damage. And again, this is coming in from around Slapout in Elmore County, and you can see basically not going to move an entire structure off a slab or off a foundation. They don't have the winds or the energy to do that, but they are going to blow down big trees onto those structures just like that. And that's a great example of what we've been fighting today. And again, that's down in Elmore County. This is near the community of Slapout, around Lake Jordan down there. And again, this happened earlier this afternoon. You can see more tree damage in Elmore County, and very high possibility that was caused by a small tornado based on the radar signature and the debris signature we saw being lofted. So let's go back to the radar. And we are here for Clay County. It is now 2:48. James Spann with Taylor Sorello, and we've got a possible tornado that's located about 6 miles west of downtown Ashland. Everybody in Ashland, Lineville should be sheltered. If you have an Ashland or Lineville mailing address, you should be sheltered. Again, the southern extent of the polygon is down here around Welborn Cabinets. The northern extent is up here in the far northern end of the county. Again, we'll watch this. The way we've had this going on today, these tornado signatures have lasted for maybe 5-10 minutes at the most, and they go away. Sometimes they recycle. They come right back. But they've been going away, and it's been a challenging day for all of us. And we have days like this. This is common here. And let me just say another thing. I've had a lot of people say, I remember when we didn't have tornadoes in January. We've always had tornadoes in January. Goodness gracious. I'll never forget January 10th of 1975. I was in college, and we had a horrible tornado in Pell City. And ham radio was my hobby then, still is today. And we helped with that for a long time, and that's just one. I could give you so many examples of January tornadoes. This is why we say Alabama's tornado season is when? November through May. This is when they happen, so this is not odd for this to happen this time of the year. So again, we're watching this. Let's go back to the big view, Taylor, and just show the reflectivity. Want to give everybody a big picture here for just a second. The rain is about to stop in downtown Birmingham, and you can be thankful for that. We've got a few showers that are forming back behind this main batch here, but in terms of the severe weather threat, the severe weather threat is over for Birmingham and points north and west. The main concern, it's heavy rain, and again, you can see the one tornado warning we have. This is for Clay. Here in Anniston, Gadsden, the weather's horrible. Pouring rain, gusty winds, you might have some small hail, but the storms here are clearly under severe limits. Heavy rain is the main concern. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning down south, parts of Montgomery and Elmore counties. But let's look at the tornado watch real quick, and you can see a lot of counties have been cleared out of this tornado watch. And the watch has been cleared for Jefferson, Shelby, Bibb, Green, Hale, Sumter, Blount, DeKalb, and counties north and west. And as the line continues to progress on to the east, the other counties will be cleared out fairly soon. And in terms of warnings, we've got that one tornado warning in the Panhandle, a severe thunderstorm warning in southwest Alabama, parts of Monroe, Wilcox, and Clark counties, the warning for parts of Montgomery and Elmore counties. But again, that's the reason we're here. It's that tornado warning for northern Clay. So let's go back in and take a look at that as we all watch the reports come in together here. This is the storm that has prompted the warning, and it's going to be hard to see much in the reflectivity, so we look at the velocity. And again, the circulation has become broad, which is the way it's worked. We get a couple of volume scans, and it looks really good. But now the rotation is broader, and if that continues, hopefully it's just gone away, and the warning can be canceled. But we don't know that. We've seen situations where it becomes broad, and then it tightens up again, tighter than a tick's fanny, just like that. And so we got to keep an eye on that. And the Weather Service will keep this warning certainly in place for a while. There's no need to change anything at this point. But I'd say the greatest probability of a tornado is just north of Ashland, just north of Lineville, north of Alabama Highway 9. And again, this is Highway 9. Barfield is here. Delta is here. And, of course, obviously, if you're in the northern part of Randolph County, you'll watch this with great interest. And it would Dowie is here. This is US 431 right here. And again, you can see that we've got Wadowee Road connecting. That's 48 going back over to Lineville. Possible tornadic circulation right here has ended. Seeing a lot more hail reports the last hour or so from the core part of this. And that we've had some hail almost up to 1 inch in diameter. So some of the hail has been fairly sizable. Most of it's been smaller. Had a lot of flooding issues during the core of the heaviest rain. And again, that is just pouring here, absolutely pouring. And there could be some flooding, probably some hail down here south of Millerville, down in the southern part of the county, down toward Mellow Valley. But again, that really heavy rain is about to come into warnings for dangerous weather, things like tornadoes. So again, let's go back to velocity. And I will say the number of lightning strikes has really decreased. We're down to 5 strikes in this zone here in the past 10 minutes. The lightning output seems to be kind of falling apart, and the circulation continues to broaden out here. And hopefully, within the next 15 minutes, if this continues, we can have this warning canceled. We kind of go about our business. And again, I also want to say, for those asking about Lake Martin, that warning was canceled about 15 minutes ago. So there's no tornado warning for Lake Martin. That was canceled, and this is the only active warning we have in the state at this point.
Dang, we're in Prattville.
So again, it's 2:53.
Okay.
And one of the big questions we have to resolve in hours.
Once we get there, we get on 85 east.
After being raked over the coals by this, can it sustain another strong to severe storm event later tonight or early in the morning? Can it recover? We don't know that yet. It's possible. We'll just have to wait and see. I've seen many of these cold season events like this where after something like this, no, it can't support more severe weather. And we hope that's the case, but I can't promise that. There's no promises at all in the weather business anyway, but hopefully that will be the case. So we've got a area rotation passing near or just north of Ashland, approaching Lineville. Again, if you're in the polygon, you've got to stay sheltered here. Ashland, Lineville, Barfield. We want you in a small room, lowest floor, near the center, no windows, in a site-built home. I want you wearing a helmet, okay? A bicycle helmet is great. A motorcycle helmet, a football helmet. And this is not just for kids, this is for adults. Most people that are seriously injured or people that lose their life in tornadoes, it's blunt force trauma above the shoulder region. And by putting on a simple, cheap bicycle helmet, that really mitigates your chance of being
Beauregard and Smith Station are going to be in the path of that one. Exit 171 here on 85, just 4.5 miles. It's a right bend apparently in exit 171 to get on 85. Miles is our exit. 85, Atlanta. 171 right there.
Got it.
Enhanced outlook area is put right over
All this.
right over the region here. Montgomery, Mobile, Auburn, Meridian, and Bessemer. This is it. Oh, that hurt.
Waiting to see if this lane ended before I did anything.
Yeah, that's fine.
Swing it right back over.
Everybody being diligent today, that's a good thing.
I got over their Monday blues.
Yep. Watch out, slow down.
There you go. Base on that thing, good God.
To the left, that's that storm that's just north of the highway right here, severe warning. That storm right there is the one that he's mentioned. Why is it so streaky on the dang windshield? Weird, man.
All of a sudden.
I know. Oh, you're talking about that?
The dump truck.
Yeah, he wasn't really paying too much attention there, was he?
He swung and then looked.
Uh-huh.
God. It was in between them and another truck.
Let's see. There's a water spout outbreak going on. Except there ain't no water spouts.
It looks cool.
Hey,
What up?
what are you doing?
I am trying to get to tornadic crap that I've been chasing behind all freaking day.
How am I hearing you?
I don't know. How are you?
Well, how are you hearing me? Did you just call me?
I just jumped on the engine.
Oh, you did? Oh. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Oh, there you are. I thought, God, it's a voice from the sky. Jesus is talking to me.
And the heavens rain down.
Anyway, no, we're on I-85 east of Montgomery trying to catch up to these tornadic cells and waiting on the ones further south now that are finally somewhat evolving.
Yeah. Chris was, he's over there somewhere.
Yeah, he's over here and Brad's over here pretty close too. They're not too far. Brad, I think, is right in front of me over near Tuskegee. There's a bunch of little spinners. They just having a hard time getting all the way down. The ones, the Deetsville one was probably the most impressive one.
Yeah.
So,
The one that was southwest of Childersburg was pretty hot there for a minute.
it was, and they wouldn't warn it. I asked them about it, and they're like, it was broad, and I'm like, yeah, you might want to tilt up. I mean, it's right there by the radar. That was John DeBlock. It was JD.
You know why your video is going white, like crazy white balance?
It does. It's not going white. You're getting lines in it because it's lost some signal. Signal goes down and comes back. It does that stupid crap. Don't know why. Latency's low on it though because I really just zoomed out like that, so that's pretty cool. I like that supercell southwest of Montgomery that's getting going in the open warm sector though. You see that one?
Oh, yeah.
It's out by itself.
What, the Luverne one you mean?
No, I mean the one northwest or due west of Greenville, down close to Pineapple.
All of those down there look like, well, every time you say that, though, they're like underperformed.
Yeah, they're transient, but the one, let's see, which one am I looking at here? Yeah, that one that's south of Tuskegee is okay. The one there, I guess it's going just east of Cotton Valley, going toward Warriors Land, I guess.
Yeah.
Every one of them got little notches on them. They just can't.
Every single one of them does.
They just can't get any depth. I know I looked at the radar photograph, and I mean, you got over 400 0 to 1. I don't know what's going on.
Did you see the lightning strike, Chris's lightning strike?
Yeah, I saw that. That was on this storm right here that's going just to my north and flattened out now.
We were just sitting there talking. It scared the hell out of me. We were sitting there talking, and I thought I'd get hit. Well,
You planning on jumping back on in a little bit?
yeah.
If we get on
Give it a
anything?
minute and see what happened.
Yeah. No, I understand that all too well. I tell you what, though, the Tuskegee storm down there, you see where it's headed for, right? It's headed right for freaking Smith Station and Beauregard.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm trying to bust it east, because that's a classic path over there, and it would be my luck. It'd take a little while, but it'll do something nutty over that way. So where am I? I'm coming up on Shorter, Alabama, at US 80 and I-85, just outside, just west of Tuskegee. So I'm about to go bust it probably down 280 out of Opelika and see what I can find over there.
If you want to hold, I'll get a hold of Clement and see if you should or not.
Yeah, he's already told us all that we probably shouldn't even be here. So he told us that none of us should be here today. It's all over with. It actually, round one actually ended about 3 hours ago, prior to that first tornado.
Yeah. I hadn't heard from him today.
Right. Well,
But I thought about asking him what I should do.
yeah, you probably should. He could give you probably better. He would probably give you better advice on coverage than you give yourself, actually. I mean, might not fail so much if you do that, Dave.
Right in the middle of all this, Jim Stepovich texted me and said, "Do you want to go fishing tomorrow?"
Sure, let's go. All right, I'm gonna hop and try to go towards Smith's real quick, or get to 280 first. I'm gonna jump back on when I get to I-85 and 280, and we'll see what this looks like. You see that down at Troy, man? I am at Shorter. I haven't made it to Tuskegee yet.
I got you.
So I'm probably, well, I tell you what, watch that supercell developing west of Greenville, Alabama. It's starting to spin too, and it's out by itself. This one's finally got a hook developing though, so that's with that sounding you showed me, the METAR out front, I'm want to go get it.
Yeah, I mean, it's starting to get that pivot too.
Yeah. All right, I'll catch you in a bit. Yeah, look. Driving down I-85, trying to get to this tornado over in eastern Lowndes County, I think. Yeah, we got a bunch of supercells over here in the eastern side of Alabama that are rotating now, so working on it's quite nice. That's always the plan. So I'm trying to get to Highway 280 that goes from Opelika down to Columbus, Georgia, and try to get in front of those. But we're gonna have to. We're trying to maneuver around vehicles that don't want to cooperate too well. Yep. There's a whole reason for that. You might have to get over that right lane.
Like that
There's a
van
car
was-
there.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. Yeah. This
saw it. I see. Let's see. There's a couple. Well, there was a couple of tornado warnings out. It looks like now the only one that's warned is my cell here in southeast of Tuskegee. We're working on the same thing, but we're on 85, like able to kind of move down the highway now. We've kind of opened up as we've got outside of Montgomery, so hopefully we can get on it and get something good here in a minute. I mean, it could be. It all depends. We'll find out here in a minute. Do you? Well, that tone changed. I don't know. Okay. I got you. Blah, 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 whatever. Anyway, let me get on this storm and I'll give you a buzz back here in just a bit. Aye. Oh, looky there. Old dead wall cloud.
Dude, there's a freaking...
Yeah. It's dead, though. I see it. I was just looking at the velocity on it. It's deader than dead. But it was there. He got back on 80 over here. Okay. Yeah, it does.
Everybody likes to probably... Yeah, you're right.
We may actually be able to get on 80 over here and go get this thing.
That looks really cool.
Yeah, right there to the left?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I agree. Like, if we get a break in the dang tree line here, it'd be cool to show.
Heck of an open air shot.
Shutter speed. Back to auto. See, it's just not, you can't see nothing.
Yeah.
Steep clouds. Well, I tell you what I'm happy about. Not being on the other side of Mississippi chasing today, knowing that I got to go back to the house packed to get ready to fly.
Anything happens with any of these, you might have to send me to go drone them.
Oh, I mean, I know there were already some things. Toss some trolleys out the window. Tell me about it. We need to toss more than that out the window.
trying to go on the back side of this stupid rain shield is a problem. I'm gonna be honest with you. Can't jack stay sustained. We need to get down toward Hurtsboro. I'll tell you how we're going to do it. We're going to go down 80, we'll go down 51. That next storm coming out of Union Springs is going to be my tornado. If it doesn't. Right deviant storms are the ones that are producing. That's the one I want. So that's the one we're gonna go get, Mr. Heath.
Then you were gonna get over, so get over. You already been over there once.
I really think that one could be interesting. Oh, got over?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Get off at the 80 US 80 exit, all right?
Okay.
Hello? Hey. Yeah. Yeah, you think? That'd be cool. Yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Or I mean snap. That looks like that hurt. Okay. Alright.
Schmack.
Whatever it takes.
There's one storm that I think could do nasty things. Look at where? Where's that at? No. No. Look south of Union Springs. It's due south of Tuskegee. It looks pretty terrible on the low level velocity of base reflectivity right now, but velocity. Tuskegee. Yeah. Tuskegee's east of Montgomery. It's where the storm that was hit Beauregard formed at. South of Union Springs. It started right there. The rotational area started on the ball of the little cell that formed, and it's growing exponentially the last couple of scans. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, this one's rotating all the way up the column too. Yeah, I know. But what it's doing though too, I think this is going to be exit coming up. What it's going to do though is it's going to either produce really, really quickly, or it's going to take a minute to produce as it comes up. But it's that one's easily. It's running. What it is, if you run the loop, when they start to spin really hard, they right turn. So I've noticed that's why that's the reason that we're seeing the spin in a couple tornadoes is because they're starting when they start that they right turn pretty significantly. Yeah. Well, it's now getting lightning in the core of it now, finally. It was just a spinning shower to begin with. Now it's actually got some lightning to it. But yeah, there's a wall cloud in front of me on this road. I'm on 80 out of Tuskegee. Yeah, I'm gonna mess them all up when I get to Marvin. And I'm going to go down to Hurtsboro on 51 and catch that one that's coming up. Ain't nobody going to expect it either because they're looking at reflectivity. And that one looks like the better storm. But, I know. I saw a video of one down there earlier. Yeah, that was probably a little overzealous, but yeah. Yeah, the one that hit Deatsville is probably EF1, EF2, probably EF2. Yeah, it does on the reflectivity, but it doesn't on the velocity, which is weird. It couldn't have been at MXX because they didn't have a storm around it when that was taken. It's just out in front of that was out. MXX is in north of Tuskegee. That was an hour and a half, 2 hours ago when that was taken before any storms ever got there. All the storms were going north of there. No, I believe that. I see that part. Yeah, I'm just trying to get it relatively short-lived and probably not very strong, but I'm going to go in here and see what I can get on that little cell. I think that little cell stands the best chance right now. That's probably what I'm going to have to do. But Eufaula's backed out of the southeast at 78 over 67 right now, too, so anyway. Well, to the northwest of it, yeah.
But storm response is also enough to get it going if you've got deep layer shear. But you don't? 22? Yeah, 22 ought to get it done, homie. Woo! Look at that gate-to-gate signature coming across, about to come across 29. That's the one we're going to go get. It's about to come across 29 south of Union Springs. It looks good.
29's that way.
We're not going 29. 29's that way. We're not going 29. We're going. Hold up. That's the road we were supposed to. This is it. Keep going. Sorry. About to say 80. Yeah, we're gonna go down here to Marvin and go south on 51, and then we can cut southwest out of Hurtsboro on 26, and then that storm's. All right, sounds good. Later. We did not ask for you to do that. Yeah, it doesn't really help when you got. Is that Brad?
No, first three letters were as a Florida tag. CUV.
That thing's about to substantially tornado if it doesn't lose its stuff. Yeah, watch out.
What you gonna do? You're on a hill too.
You gonna turn in the driveway or what?
One day.
Yeah, figure.
There's trailers here. Shit, we may need to hang out.
Not wrong. Alright, you got 8 miles to the turn. We'll turn on 51. It's going to take us straight to Hurtsboro. A lot of lightning starting to pop on that thing now.
gate to gate on EOX about to cross the highway.
Also gate to gate on MXX about to cross the highway. Actually, it's got CC.
That looks cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty good place to have something to view. That's the first storm right ahead of you. Right there is where your area is. Like literally straight down the freaking road right there. All that's doing some twisty crap. I swear.
If you're gonna get off the road, get off the road.
That part's just kind of crazy to me. You can kill that wipers a minute if you want to.
I'm like, I don't even see them after a minute.
Yeah, I know. Pretty good circulation still coming across 29 right now. Maybe some debris, not sure. We're headed toward Hurdsboro, Alabama. We're going to turn right on 51 in 2.5 miles. That next storm coming up's got pretty sick rotation on it.
Yep, she's forming up now, finally. Forming up, taking off. That's the interesting part of the other storm that you were pointing out a minute ago, but it's not showing anything anymore, like nothing. 1.5 miles, we're going to turn south on 51.
Wouldn't that figure though? We're right here at one and it decides to. 50 miles.
Grade .3, boss.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know it was,
Right.
I know it was the crossways. Full way.
At the Dollar General.
Yep.
Hold up, that's a game and fish.
Mm-hmm.
Watch them behind you because they got as
He
much.
gone.
Where'd he go? Okay.
Yonder.
I'd say that's the state trooper, basically.
They got more authority than anybody.
That's correct.
With respect to my authority.
Yep. Here we go. Come on at me. 14 miles. We're in.
There you go. Now we got something to look at.
Over to the east, yeah. This one right here that you're about to look at that's coming at you's got a real chance.
Oh, elephant trunk. They sped up.
What is he doing? There's a
Can't go-
car
I can't
coming,
go around you,
man.
dog. I cannot do it. Thank you.
I mean, I don't understand why they're getting over it. Anyway, Hurtsboro's in 12 miles, and we're going to try our best to see something down here. I see a very, very, very right turning
Cell right now. That's very concerning to me. Out of Hurtsboro, we can take 49 to go to Rutherford if we have to do that.
Another Highway 49.
Yeah, County Road or Highway 1.
tell if that's debris or what, but there's a CC drop there.